You didn't arrive here by accident. Even if you can't explain it, something in you felt a calling. Not the kind that comes from the outside, filled with urgency and noise, but an ancient whisper rising from within, as if your soul, quietly, had asked, "Listen," and you did. Maybe without noticing, you are already closer to yourself than ever before, because the soul doesn't scream. It waits. Waits for the world to tire of demanding your attention. Waits for you to tire of losing yourself. And when everything outside loses its shine, that's when it speaks. You are not in crisis. You are awakening. He didn't know what he was searching for either. He only felt a constant discomfort, a sense of being out of place. His life looked fine on the surface, but something was missing, something he couldn't name. He laughed with others but cried in silence. Went through routines but felt absent from himself. Until one day, in a quiet moment, something touched him. It wasn't a grand revelation. It was just exhaustion. Tired of pretending. Tired of enduring. Tired of not listening. And in that tiredness he heard. He heard what had always been there. A calm but steady voice saying, "You are ready." And even without understanding, he answered, "Yes." The call of the soul doesn't come with a map. It offers no clear route. It unravels what is false to reveal what is true. It strips away the distractions, exposes the illusions, dismantles the masks. That's why it hurts. That's why it confuses. But that's also why it frees. The soul doesn't want you to be perfect. It wants you to be honest. And honesty sometimes means admitting you don't know. That you're scared. That you want something you can't explain. But still, you choose to keep going. Listening, feeling, breathing. Most people ignore that call. They say it's just imagination, a phase, a weakness. But weakness is living a life that makes no sense. Courage is walking forward even without all the answers. And he chose courage. Chose to sit with the emptiness until it made sense. Chose to walk without rush. Chose the company of silence. Because he realized that only in silence does the soul speak, and once it speaks, there's no going back to who you were before. It wasn't easy. There were days he wanted to give up, nights when he felt he was losing his mind. But in every fall, something held him, something invisible but real, as if the soul itself whispered, "Trust." And he trusted, not because he was sure, but because he was done lying to himself. And that honesty opened doors, inner doors, doors to places he had locked away long ago, doors to parts of himself he had forgotten. And there he didn't find answers. He found presence. Now he doesn't feel enlightened. He doesn't have all the answers, but he lives in peace with the questions. He's learned to listen to his body, his dreams, the signs. He's learned to honor cycles, pauses, boundaries. And he's learned that hearing the soul isn't about changing the world. It's about changing how you walk through it. Now every step feels lighter, every choice more aligned. And even with doubt, he carries one certainty. He is living his truth. Mantra phrase: I listen to what the world silences, my soul. Comment below: I heard it, and now I walk. Maybe this is the only video you truly needed, not because it gave you answers, but because it reminded you of what you already knew. And if something inside you just softened, it's a sign your soul recognized this place. Continue your spiritual walk with the hidden path. Each story is a mirror, each silence a return. Your soul is already guiding you.